Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum is in the middle of a celebration. 50 years since our own local POTUS took his seat in the Oval Office. There is a very special exhibit, Ford at 50, Decisions That Defined a Presidency, along with some other events and changing exhibits that take us all back to that time. A perfect opportunity to get in and check it out. We've got Brooke Clement. She is the director of the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Library. Dr. Morel Lukey, she is the supervisory curator. Ladies, always so great to have you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So let's talk about Ford at 50 and talk about the significance of this exhibit and why people need to get out and see it if they haven't already.
Yeah, so this is our major temporary exhibit. It opened August 9th, 2024, and it's running through August 19th, 2025, and it's really celebrating Ford's presidency by exploring some of the difficult, sometimes controversial, and really defining decisions that shaped his presidency. So visitors can learn about many different elements, including his decision to pardon or grant clemency to Vietnam-era draft dodgers, pardon Richard Nixon, attending the Helsinki Accords. And so it's a really great exhibit where people can kind of come back in time through different elements, including set pieces. So for example, we have the hearing room where Ford became the first president to voluntarily testify before Congress to explain his reasons for pardoning Richard Nixon. Audio-visual elements, so people can listen to those questions that he answered in the hearing room, and also artifacts. So there's a lot of different elements that people can explore.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit more on the Vietnam War, because there is a special, some events and things going on around that are coming up and people can enjoy.
Yeah, so in addition to the different Vietnam elements that people can explore in the Ford at 50 exhibit, so for example, we have a section on his decision to grant aid to Vietnamese refugees, including with Operation Baby Lift and Operation New Life. People can also explore a new exhibit that we have opening on April 21st called Casting Light, Photographs of the Vietnam War. So this is a showcase exhibit with panels. So people will be able to explore the history of the Vietnam War and look at how presidents and the American public responded to the war over time using photographs. And so we can see kind of the changing responses to the war from, the 1950s through the 1970s. So it explores Ford's experiences, but expands beyond that. And so these photographs that we're really excited to showcase are from journalists, they're from military photographers, and also Ford's official White House photographer, David Kennerly, who traveled to Vietnam and Cambodia in March 1975 to take photographs. So this was just a month before the fall of Saigon and the end of U.S. involvement in the war. So these are some really moving photographs that people can experience.
Wow, we are just so lucky. Talk to us about what you hope the public pulls out of these exhibits, of the celebration of Ford at 50, and what you hope people take away.
I mean, I think that it's just important to recognize where we are as a country too, what these programs and decisions that President Ford made, how they've impacted us 50 years later even. And so we have some great programming coming as well that will be tied to the Vietnam conflict, including on April 24th, we've got Franz Hoang coming, and he was a refugee, a Vietnamese refugee during Operation New Life. He then went on to become a West Point cadet, served in the U.S. military, was a mover and shaker during the Afghanistan closure of the war and bringing those refugees to the United States. So it's a full circle moment for him as well. And then on April 30th, we've got Professor Frederick Logevall coming, and he is a Pulitzer Prize winning author with regard to the Vietnam War. So we really want people to come out to the museum and be able to both see this exhibit and also hear from people who both experienced it and have studied it. And then on May 9th, again, we have Steve Ford coming along with another Vietnamese refugee. And so, yeah, we're just making sure that the community here has the opportunity to really experience that.
Yeah, we're just so lucky to have all of these wonderful speakers and authors and experiences that we can take in for free, right? I mean, these are free events that people can attend.
Absolutely. Yeah. If they have any questions or want to check things out further, they can look at our website, fordlibrarymuseum.gov. If they want to register for the events, let us know that they're coming. Great.
Yeah, right. That always helps, right?
But they are free to the public, and we're not going to turn anyone away, even if they're not registered.
Perfect. And as we talk about this new exhibit coming, that means we have to say goodbye to an old exhibit. And of course, I'd be remiss if we did not talk about the Betty Blip and the impact of Betty Ford and breast cancer, and how we are obviously very much feeling that still today.
Yeah, so our current showcase exhibit, the Betty Blip, Betty Ford's Battle Against Breast Cancer, is closing right after her birthday. It's closing on April 13th, and so people still have a couple of weeks to get in and see that. And so this exhibit explores how she was diagnosed with breast cancer just a few months into her husband's presidency, and how her decision to go public with her diagnosis and really share her experiences impacted breast cancer awareness in the United States. And so I think it's a really significant story that really speaks to her courage and candor. And because she chose to share her experiences, breast cancer awareness, the number of women going to get exams, rose in the United States, contributing to the Betty Ford Blip, which was this moment. So I think that's a really excellent exhibit that people can go check out for another couple weeks.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, so if anyone wants information, wants to find out about all these events, be in the know, I highly suggest FordLibraryMuseum.gov. There are so many things, we couldn't even go through them all. Get there and enjoy this exhibit while it is still here in our backyard. We'll be right back.